Hi all, welcome back to my channel. If you like to hear someone talk about cats, rats, dogs, or reptiles, go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. I am currently posting every Sunday at noon and I have been consistently, so let's hope I can keep that up, right? So today's video is going to be about my White's tree frogs. Super awesome, super excited to share this with you guys. I did a huge iguana rebuild. So my iguana Zelda has gotten moved into a ginormous enclosure, and then I had a 3 foot long, 3 foot tall, a foot and a half deep enclosure, which is behind me, empty. And I have 5 White's tree frogs. They are now a year old, so it was time to move them all together into one great big enclosure. I did make a huge mistake with this enclosure, which I will talk about whenever I start showing it to you guys. But I feel like everything else is really great and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I just wish I had thought things through a little bit better. So the enclosure is behind me. I will get a little bit up close, like closer up to it for you guys. I did use the expanding foam for the background, covered it in silicone, and then covered that while the silicone was still wet in some cocoa fiber. That is the biggest place I made the mistake. These are sticky frogs. So they use the pads on their toes kind of to move around. Using cocoa fiber on top of that was not the best idea because it's not going to be totally like there's still going to be debris from it. So the frogs have a really difficult time climbing on this beautiful background. I'm so bummed about it. I'm hoping over time, as some of that kind of falls off a little bit, or, you know, just after misting it down and things like that, it kind of compacts a little bit more and it stops being as big of an issue. Hey, out, bud. Get out. It stops being as big of an issue. Go. Thank you. So that so far is the only concern that I have with it and the only like thing that just totally bummed me out about it. I do consider this a semi-bioactive enclosure. There are springtails and there are white dwarf isopods and dwarf purple isopods in here. However, I don't keep live plants inside of my enclosures. I have a really difficult time with it. I originally started this channel many years ago as like a gardening zero waste kind of channel, and I don't even think there's any more of those videos really up. I am super good at growing things outside, but I'm not really good at keeping things alive inside of the enclosures. I tried it a couple of times and it's just not for me. So I still like the idea of bugs and things like that helping out with the cleanup, I guess, but I just can't have the plant aspect added into it. So I still consider it a semi-bioactive. There's a lot of debate on that, on whether it is or isn't, but that's what I consider it. I did use some things from their old enclosure. There's a few vines in here from their old enclosure, a few little decor items from their old enclosure. But pretty much let me just get in here and show it to you guys. And at the end of it, I'm going to feed a couple of them for you. I probably won't have the ring light on for that part because I don't know if they're really going to come out a whole lot right now with the ring light on it, but let me get in here and show you what's up because it's gorgeous and I'm so happy with it. Okay, so here we go. I do have one of the doors open. I guess I can open both of them because they're not really like at the doors right now. Like I said, this is a new enclosure for them, so when they get used to it, they'll start coming up to the front whenever they see me, knowing that they're going to get fed. We'll start here. And I'll link in the description down below a really good reference video for how to make these kinds of backgrounds. They're really easy. This enclosure is huge though, so I ended up using about 6 cans of expanding foam, I believe, and 4 tubes of silicone. But, you know, it came out really great. You just spray the expanding foam on there, let it dry, carve it into how you like to carve it. I don't personally do a lot of carving. I did carve a few flat tops and stuff to give them some ledges and whatnot and places to like be, but I don't typically do a whole lot of carving because I really like the little natural background that it kind of gives and the texture. These pieces of wood I stuck in with the expanding foam, so they are adhered and in place in that background, that one as well, which can always get sloppy. You can tell like this is on there. on there. It gets a little messy sometimes. But the background came out really beautiful. I just wish it was a little bit more functional. And then for the rest of it, like these plants and stuff that are stuck in here, I believe I did a haul video, like a Michaels haul video, and I just cut them to the size I wanted them and then stuck them inside of that foam. Some of them I siliconed in place, some of them I did not, but I like the little textures and all of that. I stuck this big plant right there just for some color. This was an old plant in one of their enclosures. I kind of just suction cupped it to the side. You can see how I kind of just rigged those suction cups. There's a little ledge that I love. I got that off of Amazon. These frog soap dishes are like a must. The frogs love them. Let's see if there's anybody in there. No and no. I do offer UVB, UVA for the frogs and a little bit of heat off of that bulb as well. I only do it on one side because they don't need a whole lot of any of those things really. So I didn't put one on either side. They can choose if they want to bask underneath it or not. This is a gorgeous piece of wood that I picked up at a reptile show, and it's perfect, exactly what I wanted. This is an aquarium decoration that I had in their old enclosure. The corkwood is from their old enclosure. There's a lot of leaf litter down here. There's some sphagnum moss down here. These little mushrooms I got at Dollar Tree last year whenever I got the frogs. Ooh, here's a couple of them hanging out. They love to be on the mushrooms. And then there's just like vines and stuff. This is just a little serving platter of some sort that I've got down here for their water dish. But yeah, I am so happy with how this turned out. Like, it's not even funny how happy I am with how this came out. Like, I absolutely love it. And then we can walk around here and see what we've got going on. I do have every intention of covering this. I have a foam poster board that I usually stick behind it, and then I'll cut it to the side and just kind of adhere it to the side, probably with command strips for now. But I couldn't wait to show this to you guys. It's so great looking. And then around on the other side. Sorry, I'm stepping over a dog. Always stepping over a dog, right? Oh, it just came out so good. And the same thing with this side with the foam. Like, I'll end up covering that. I just haven't yet. But yeah, I'm really, really proud and happy with how this came out. Again, I wish the background was a little bit more functional. And I'm going to give it a little bit of time, and I'm sure that it will be over time. If not, you guys will hear about it, and I will be changing it. But let me pause this and see if I can get some of the guys out here to start eating. Today I just have a little bit of a variety. There's wax worms, phoenix worms, and dubia roaches in here. They're the small dubia roaches. I have 5 white tree frogs in here, and I like to put them in these 3 different containers and then just kind of put them throughout the enclosure. I'll tongue feed a few of them, whichever ones are out. I don't normally feed them this much all at once. Just look at how cute they are. If I can get a view of them, not really. I don't usually feed them this much all at once. However, I do feed a different quantity of food every time I feed my reptiles. I just kind of feel like in the wild, they would not be getting, you know, a set amount of food each time that they ate. So if you can kind of offer a little bit of variety with that, then it's always good. So like, I didn't feed them yesterday or the day before, so I'm going to feed them a little bit heavier than let's put this one right here. Just a little bit heavier than I typically would. I don't want that one to fall in, so we're going to put it right there actually. Just a little bit more than I typically would today. And then, like I said, tomorrow I'll feed them, but I'll probably tongue feed each of them just one. And then the next day I'll feed them probably randomly like this, where they'll have to hunt for it, a few in each bowl. And then again, so like I never feed the same amount. I never feed consistently every single day. I do always feed in the evening, and then occasionally I like to put some up here so they have a little snack to go look for later. So Let me get this food divvied out, and then I'll show you guys me tongue feeding probably those two that are out right now that I can see, because they hide in here so well it's not even funny. This little dude has already noticed the bugs. This is Crimson. He's one of my favorites. He's one of the more animated ones that I got. There's another one back there coming out. I don't know if you can see him or not. It's kind of like above the thing, but yeah. Let me show you guys a tongue feeding. Okay, let me see if I can get this guy to come out closer. Hey, buddy. I don't know if I got that or not. My bad. Let me see if I can get some of the other ones out. Let's give them something to watch, guys. Where are y'all? Oh, I think he just got one somewhere else. You want it? Nope. Anyways, that's the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry only two of my frogs are out, but you know how it is with animals. You can't make them do what you want them to do all the time. The lights are also really bright, and they're not the biggest fan of the daytime and the bright lights. So it is what it is. Y'all have a great one. Thanks for watching.